Hello, this is Jason Gonzalez. This is my submission for my experience on presentation anxiety. The first thing I want to touch on is flight or fight response. For me, I experience this response. It's usually the minute I step on stage or the minute I start the meeting is when I experience this response. The first thing I get is I start to have writer's block almost, and it's hard for me to express myself the first couple minutes. But the more I talk to the crowd, the more I get engaged, the more I get them engaged, the easier I notice it is. That's when my stage presence will loosen up a little bit, and I become a lot more flawed, and I start to feel myself a little bit better and being more comfortable during that presentation. It's weird because typically my body responds a lot more severely to an online presentation versus in person. I think being able to recognize and see people's reactions in person makes it a little bit easier for me to feel comfortable and more relaxed during my presentation. The first tool I found valuable for creating a presentation in person or online is like it's those management tools, right? Being aware of your vocal fillers is a big one for me. When I watch people do the presentations, I do look out for the likes and ums, and I understand it is hard, but you don't want to. You'd rather create that kind of quiet period, or you find different words to fill those rather than using those words as and likes. The second tool I found helpful during the presentation is your self awareness. Knowing that you are feeling more comfortable later on in the presentation makes it a little bit easier. Knowing you're not doing those things that show that you have anxiety, like shaking a lot or moving your hands around a little too much or stepping and pacing back and forth, rather than getting the crowd engaged and finding ways to keep them entertained during their presentation and have your message delivered clearly. The third tool I found helpful was the amount of knowledge and awareness that you have on your presentation, making sure you are prepping yourself ahead of time, going through those notes and recording multiple times to get the best part and get the best experience for your person that you're presenting for online. I think is one of the biggest tools that I can have in my bag to manage my ability to proceed and deliver a message clearly. In conclusion, I do find it hard to present online more than it is in person. Again, for me, just physically being there and being able to interact with people and see their reaction is kind of what will fuel me. Noticing that they have more questions, how they're reacting to my message is kind of what I look out for when I'm presenting in person versus online. Online, it's a little bit harder. You're not reading anybody. All you're doing is putting out what you think is best and waiting for the reaction from somebody watching your presentation. I do experience I do experience presentational anxiety and social anxiety as well. But as I go through this communication course, I feel like it'll alleviate a lot more and add a lot more confidence in me when making these presentations or presenting to other people, whether it's online or in person.